Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So in last episode, we had the season simulation, the rest of it, and we made some really big trades. We made a trade to bring in Richard Skula from the Philadelphia Flyers, and I think he worked out just fine. Now, the only problem is I think for some reason the power play was just not working at all for some reason. Like, he didn't have a single power play point, I'm pretty sure it said. Also, Recchi had no power play points, but I don't think he was on the power play. So I am going to have to make some line adjustments before we get into this playoff thing. But yeah, we had a really good season again. Obviously, not having home ice advantage is a little bit weird considering we had such a good season. But we are going to be taking on a team in Nashville who had 110 points in the regular season. Also, their roster doesn't really look as good on paper as you would think for that record. But it should be an interesting first round of the playoffs regardless. Once again, here's our player stats from the regular season in case you didn't catch the end of last episode. But yeah, basically we traded for Skula from Philadelphia. He helped us out offensively quite a bit. And then we also decided to trade away Niittymaki because there was a problem where basically I could not call up any players whatsoever from the minors because of the salary cap issues. So I decided it was probably best to move on from Niittymaki's $6 million contract. So we moved him to Buffalo. And yeah, that helped free us up some cap space. And then we brought in a defenseman that was making less than $1 million in Pace from Colorado, to basically just give us a little bit more of an actual blue liner. So him and Kartinen are our other defensemen now for this team. But in general, our team still looks really good on paper. Like, I mean, we probably have one of the deepest rosters we've had in years. Also has good chemistry. Our goaltending was also solid again in the regular season. So I'm hoping that Howden has a good playoffs, unlike last year where he came back from injury and he didn't really do that well. Hopefully this is the year where this team could go on a tear and win another Stanley Cup. So there is that. And yeah, we're going to be taking on Nashville in round one. Let me show you guys the roster again just in case you forgot. And then we'll edit our lines quickly before we start up round one. So here is Nashville. Somehow this team won so many games, but you can see what I mean. Like, they have a lot of 80s, which is good, but they don't really have that insane superstar player on offense. Like, Holloway's good. Don't get me wrong, but he's probably dropping off because of his age. They also do have Sakic, who's pretty solid, Arneson, but I don't feel like this team shouldn't be that good during the regular season. The best part about their team, though, is definitely this Virtanen and Denisov pairing, both 90 overall. One's an OFD, one's a DFD, so we got to watch out for that. Other than that, that defensive core is not that great. The goaltending's kind of average, and the defense and depth, or not the defense, the depth is not really that great either. So I don't really know what's going to happen in this first round. It should be a pretty good first round too, just because both teams were really up there in the standings. Like I said, we finished with 107 points. They finished with 110 points. And we are both like second and third, I think, in our division. I don't remember. Let me take a look. Yeah, we're second and third in our division. The only team above our two teams was Colorado. So yeah, our division was pretty stacked in a sense, so I feel like one of the teams from our division will probably go quite far in this playoff run, but hopefully it's us, because I really want to get that second Stanley Cup. Because it was a little bit of a down year for like guys like Vance in a sense. Like, he had 100 points, but he only had 43 goals, which was his lowest total since his second NHL season, so it's a little bit disappointing in that sense, but I think maybe we'll just all of a sudden turn it on in the playoffs. Also, I apologize if you hear any lawnmowers in the background again, because once again, it is a bright and sunny day, so of course they have to go out there and make a bunch of noise, but there is that. Let's get into this first round and see what we could do. Let me first make those adjustments that I was talking about at the end of last episode. Sorry about last episode being so long, because it was like 40-something minutes probably. But yeah, we got to get Recchi on the power play. I don't know why he wasn't on the power play. So we'll move Skula to basically to the point. We'll put Corrado at center because he can win draws. And I will be giving this other part to Recchi because for some reason he just wasn't getting power play time. He needs that power play time. Weeks was doing okay on the power plays, so might as well keep him there. Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't getting any power play time. Doesn't really make sense. That's why his point production probably has been way down. Yep, that's what our team is going to be looking like going into the playoffs. Should be a good playoff run for our team, I think. Like, our top six is definitely at the best point it's been in quite some time. Obviously, School is a lot better than Nazar, I'd say. School is more of a goal scorer, so hopefully he help step up for this team in the playoff run. But there you go. Wait, did it say actually that School had no power play points? Yeah, he had none with us. But he was already on power play 2, right? Yeah, he was. That's kind of concerning that our power play was doing that bad with that skill level. I hope it triggers the team to do really good in the playoffs, but damn, that's not that good. Not that good at all. But yeah, chemistry-wise, we are really good too, so... If Paige isn't doing that good, I could always put Carton in. Also, Adamski's been pretty good, so he's also a good option to put in. Maybe if Bales or Brigley or Patterson's not doing that well. And we also have guys in the minors we could call up, like Martins. So, Martins might get a chance. Who knows? So there is that. Let's get into this first round and see if we can beat the Preds and get ourselves to that second round. This lawnmower is super frustrating. You guys could probably hear it super loud in the background, and I really apologize about that. That's what happens when you live in a condominium area. It's just way too damn loud. I gotta like soundproof my walls or something like that. But anyways, here we go. Game number 1 in Nashville. Can we get a win on the road? If we had at least one win in Nashville, that would be a good way to start off this series. So, first period of game number 1. Down 2-0. That's not a good start for Howden in his playoffs. He's been a good regular season goaltender, but his playoff numbers haven't been there. Really, Sakic and Ep.65. So that's first line and second line, I think. Shots are 13-9 in favor of us, but we're down by 2 goals. Can we at least get 1 goal back to get back into this game in a second, please, boys? Second period. Hey, there we go. That's exactly what I called for, or asked, wanted. Reginald Spiller, the pending RFA, scores and makes it a 2-1 game with the shots 21-18 in favor of us. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the third period and force overtime, or even get the lead for that matter? Come on, boys. Let's get that next one. Asher Vance. Brigley, okay, that's who I wanted as well. Brigley is good. Lowry scores. Let's go in 3 unanswered goals from the Blackhawks, and we have the lead for the first time in this game. Brigley comes back from his long-term injury and scores immediately. That's really good to see. Love it when our depth scores over our top 6 guys, because that shows that we can have any line scoring pretty much. And we do end up winning game 1 3-2, as we were down 2-0 after 1, but we rallied back with no goals from Vance, but 3 goals from 3 other guys. Spiller from Kabanov and Skula, Brigley from Bales and Spiller, and Lowry from McDavid. So Spiller with 2 points in the first game of the playoffs. He gets first star, Sakic to second, and Ebbett to third. Let's take a look at player stats. Anybody badly minused in that game? No. Lowry, Bernstrom, Perry was -1, but that's okay. They play a lot of ice time. And yeah, Howden was much better after that first period. So that's good. We need him to continue playing like that. Because it's kind of weird having an elite goaltender, because I do not like elite goalies for how they simulate in the playoffs, but if they are going to win us a Stanley Cup, that's always good too. And damn, San Jose, who won the President's Trophy, had a great season, is down 2-0 to the Dallas Stars in the first round. So that's going to be potentially a huge upset if Dallas knocks them out. That is interesting. I believe Kavanaugh is still on that team, our former defenseman, for like a short bit. Okay, so we won 1 game in Nashville. That's good. We need to win 2 maybe. And then we have a 2-0 series headed home. That would be great. Come on, boys. Let's see if we could take a 2-0 series lead here. First period, 1-0 us. Okay, that's a better start than last game. Asher Vance, let's go. Now our top guys are getting goals. I like that we're getting goals from all over the place in our lineup. That's exactly what we need if we want to win a Stanley Cup again. So Vance scores. Shots are 11-9 in favor of the Preds after 1. Can we make it a 2-0 lead or 3-0 lead? Just get some insurance. 1 goal obviously is not safe enough. Second period, 3-1. Okay, there it's much better. Ebbett tied the game up for them, so their second liner seems to be doing pretty well. And then McDavid scores a power play goal, and Vance scores again. So McDavid and Vance have awoken, and now they're trying to take over for us in the rest of the series. Shots are 25-19 in favor of them, but we're up by 2 goals. Can we lock this one down and take a 2-0 series lead headed home? It would be great to take both these games. So, like I said, Nashville didn't really look that opposing to me on paper. Brigley scores again. That's awesome. Our first line and our fourth line, McDavid scores his second goal of the night as well. So him and Vance both might have 4 points. Brunstrom scores. There's another top guy. Top defenseman. Makes it 6-1. And they get one late, of course, with 5 seconds left to make it 6-2. But a good game again from Howden and a good game from our offense. And we are up 2-0 headed home. We take both games in Nashville against a higher seed. Love to see it. Vance from Reefers and McDavid from Burnstrom and Kabanov, Vance from McDavid and Reefers, Brigley from Patterson, McDavid from Vance and Lowry, and Burnstrom from Bales and Brigley. Not too bad. McDavid the first star of 4 points, Vance the second star of 3 points, and yeah, Howden gets third star. Howden is doing pretty good so far for an elite goaltender in this first round. Love to see it. Burnstrom, Brigley, and Reefers all had 2 points. I think that's all I wanted to take a look at. Who doesn't even really get that much ice time on this team? Oh yeah, Brigley doesn't get a lot of ice time, but he scores goals. So that's really good. When your guys are scoring that normally don't get a lot of ice time, everything's working out pretty well. We're outscoring them 9-4 so far in those first two games. But now the series shifts over to our home arena. Now Dallas is up 3-0 on San Jose, which means Jacina, who had a 72-goal regular season, I think, or 73, he might be getting knocked out in round 1, which would be huge for an upset for Dallas because, yeah, Jacina and McKenna, those two guys, if they get knocked out in round 1, that's a big problem for the Sharks going forward. I don't know if Jacina is closer to ending his contract or what, but that would be quite the loss if they end up losing Jacina and McKenna at some point and they end up not getting that far in the playoffs. Colorado's up 3-0 on St. Louis right now as well. And then Seattle and LA is tied at 1. Boston, Ottawa tied at 1. Same with the Rangers and Islanders. That would probably be a good series. Devils up 3-0 on Buffalo with Niittymaki. And Montreal's up 3-0 on Columbus. Montreal is probably a team that's going to get far again this year with that Sylvain Parks, Griffin, and Caulfield line, if that's still all together. Here we go. We're now in Chicago. Can we take a 3-0 series lead? First period, 2-2. I'll take it, I guess, but I don't like that start for Howden. 2 goals against early. Sakic and O'Brien. But Ziska scores and McDavid scores. McDavid's been great in this first round. And it's good to see Ziska score because that's every single line has contributed to at least 1 goal in this playoff run so far. At least I think. Shots are 14-11 in favor of us. It's a 2-2 game. Can we get the lead in the second period? Second period, 3-3. I guess I'll take it. They once again got the lead back. Tolvanen on the power play, but Lane Weeks scores his first career playoff goal, and it's now a 3-3 game. Shots are 27-18 in favor of us, so Howden's having probably his worst game yet of the playoffs. Hopefully he kind of rebounds from this a little bit, but hopefully our team can find a way to win here in this third period. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Come on, let's get that win. Let's get that win. Sharov makes it 4-3, and Holloway makes it 5-3. Yeah, this is definitely Howden's worst game. His first 2 games were pretty good, but this game, not so much. Yeah, I might have to rely on our other goaltender for the next game. Yeah, 6-3. Oof. 7-3. Jeez, Howden. Damn, yeah, that was a bad game for our team. There must be some really badly minus players in this game too, but it was looking pretty close going into that third period, and then we just completely fell apart. Ziska from Bales and Spiller, McDavid from Vance, and Weeks from Corrado and Ziska, and then they scored 4 goals in that third period. Yikes. So that's how Nashville's a good team, I guess, apparently. Let's see if there was any badly minus people. Spiller was a +3 in that game somehow. I don't know how, but Page was a -3. Okay, so I think Page is going to get out of the lineup, and we're going to put Kartinen in. And then our top guys were pretty badly -2. And yeah, Howden's definitely out for next game. A 794. That's not good. Ziska got 3rd star in that game somehow. Yeah, we're going to make some adjustments. Even though we're up 2-1 in the series, that's the type of game we definitely do not want to have in the playoffs. I could try and rely on Howden still, but damn. And Dallas did sweep San Jose, so Jacina and McKenna are out in the first round, which is absolutely insane. I don't know how good Dallas is, but damn. That's a pretty big upset, I think. Okay, so yeah, Pace is going to come out of the lineup, and we will get Kartinen in instead. Yeah, we'll go Kartinen with Ovechkin. Who is more defensively minded? It's going to be Kartinen that's more defensively minded, I think. Wait. Actually, Ovechkin's got the better defensive awareness, so we'll leave him on the left side. Yeah, and then Howden had a really rough game, so he's going to come out for Scavello for a game. And I'm not going to put Adamski in yet because Berkeley's been good. Yeah, the fourth line's been pretty good, so I'm going to keep it together for now, but eventually we might make some changes. Even Lane Weeks could get randomly scratched at some stage, but I think for now I'm going to keep the rest of this the same. I might put School actually at center because he hasn't really done anything right now, which is kind of concerning. Yeah, we'll go with Kabanov, School, Recchi instead. Since School has got good face-off stats, maybe he'll help us win some more draws at key times. But let's see if this helps out the team a little bit. See if we could get that 3-1 series lead here, because if we lose both games on home ice, this is the type of series that's probably going to go back and forth until Game 7, where it kind of changes the script a bit. Because basically, it would be the home ice winning trend, so we'd probably end up losing the series in 7 games if I am reading the script what EA has written for us. Let's see if we can take that 3-1 series lead here. Let's not let that last game get to us. Let's get back to where we were in like game 1 and 2. First period of game number 4. 2-1 us. That's much better. Reefers and Bales. Love to see it. Bales hadn't scored yet. Reefers scores. I believe that's his first goal of the playoffs as well. He's been picking up assists, but I don't think he had scored yet. That is another power play goal, so our power play might be doing better than it was in the regular season. And Bathgate gets them on the board. Shots are 9-6 in favor of us. Can we get some insurance in the second period? Second period, 3-2. I guess I'll take it. Reefer scores again, so it's good to see him starting to come through. He made it 3-1, but Callenlind, I think that is, not Coland, he makes it 3-2, and we're only up by a goal going into the third with the shots 22-18 in favor of Nashville. Can we get some insurance and lock down this game? It's definitely a close game like game 1 was. I mean, last game was technically close as well, but then all of a sudden they had a lot of offense, so penalty kill, nicely done. Come on, boys, get that insurance, please. Or just lock it down, one of the two. Final 5 minutes of the third period. And we are going to hold them off, and we have a 3-1 series lead as Scavello gets a win. And I think I might go back to Howden still, but Scavello had a pretty solid effort in his playoff debut this season. Reefers from McDavid and Kabanov, Bales from Carton and Recchi. So Carton picked up an assist since being put into the lineup. Reefers from McDavid and Lowry is the game-winning goal technically. Reefers first star, Scavello second star, and McDavid a third. Maybe I should keep with Scavello for next game. Maybe. I just don't know how much ice or how much time Howden needs. Maybe he needs a couple days to rest. Maybe he needs only the 1 day. You know what, we're going to keep with Howden, I think, this next game. He only had 1 bad game so far. If he loses this game badly as well, obviously we'll go back to Scavello, but I think we'll go back to Howden for this game. And obviously we're going to keep the rest of the lineup the same because Carton got injected into the lineup and he has an assist. So he might be the better option to play instead of Pache. Like I said, if we run into any troubles, though, Adamski could come in, or we could call up even Martins from the AHL, but I don't know if I'll do that, so... Martins definitely will be in the NHL next year, though, which means we might need to rework our bottom 6 a little bit. Who knows? Trade away some guys that are signed too long-term, like Bales, for example. But here we go. We have a 3-1 series lead. Can we win the series and get ourselves to that second round? We've won 2 games in Nashville already. Can we win a third? Come on, boys. First period. 2-1 Nashville. They had 11 shots. 2 was on 11 shots. I guess is okay. We had 1 goal in 11 shots. It was a late goal from Kabanov, but O'Brien's got both their goals. Hopefully Howden kind of steps up in the second period and doesn't allow anything, because like I said, if he doesn't play good this game, likely Scavello will get the start next game. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the second period? Second period? 4-1. Oof. Yeah, I think we're going back to Scavello next game because I don't see us winning this game unless we have a great comeback in the third period. But Ebbett and Bichelle score. And yeah, this is not looking good this one game. We got to find a way to win on home ice, which we have only 1 win so far in the playoffs on home ice. Unless we win in this third period. But let's see what happens third period. Not looking too good though. Not a great game for Howden again. Maybe he needed some more rest. Tried to put him back in the lineup to see if he had his confidence back, but apparently he did not. I like that he's a good regular season goaltender, but when it comes to the playoffs, it's not really there consistently. And yeah, we're going to lose by a final score of 4-1 in a big game here. And we are going back to Chicago with a chance to close out the series, or else we'll go to a Game 7. So Kabanov from school is the only goal for us. Any badly minus players on the team, couple -2s, and it's all our top guys. Okay, that's not great. And yeah, Howden didn't have a good game again. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, we'll go back to Scavello for next game, and I might rework some lines a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that until we lose 2 games in a row. I don't know exactly. Let's go to edit lines here. Vance and McDavid have quieted down a little bit, which is a bit concerning. We'll go back to Scavello. And we'll go back to Kabanov as the center. And go back to School on the left side this time instead of the right side. I might honestly put School on the top line, but that does give a +5. I could try that, but I don't know. I could rework these top 6 a lot, but I don't know if I will. Lane Weeks has the 1 goal in 5 games. Patterson has the 1 assist. Let's just flip the 2 of them around for something. And goalie-wise, yes, Scavello's good. He won't throw Adamski in yet. But there we go. Couple of changes. We'll see if that's enough to get ourselves the series win. Because if we lose this game, I'm kind of concerned that we might end up losing 3 straight in this first round. Come on, boys. Let's do this. Let's knock out the Preds. Let's see if Scavello could have a good game again here. First period of Game 6. Let's go. Let's go. That's a great way to start it off. 4-1 after 1. 4 goals on 12 shots for us. There's a chance we've already chased our starting goaltender. Kartinen scores a short-handed goal, so I'm really glad that we threw him in instead of Pache. And then Sakic scored, Vance scores, Morris scores, and Ziska scores. Let's go. That's a great way to start it off. Obviously, we need to have a good second period here, too, because if they score 1 or 2 goals, they could get back into this game, and we do not want that to happen. So, second period, 7-2. Jeez. Okay, that's exactly what the offense we needed from this team. But holy crap, 7 goals on 19 shots. Perry is still in net, it looks like. Ebbett made it 4-2, but then Vance makes it 5-2. Recchi 6, and McDavid 7. Well, we definitely got this series locked up in the bag, but the question is, how good is this a good thing to have a good offensive burst like this? Because I feel like it is, but at the same time, sometimes when your team has this type of game, all of a sudden they just stop scoring afterwards too. So Sherov makes it 7-3. Patterson scores to make it 8-3. And that is the finals. We do win the first round in 6 games with an 8-3 win over the Nashville Predators. Jeez. Jeez. Kartinen from Vance and Recchi. Vance from McDavid and Lowry. Morris from Brickley and Vance. So Vance had 3 points in the first period. Ziska from Crowder and Spiller, Vance from Kabanov and McDavid, Recchi from School, McDavid from Vance and Reavers, and Patterson from Ziska. Jeez. Vance had like a 5-point game, yeah. So Vance definitely just showed up there. That's a playoff game for the ages. McDavid had 3 points, Ziska had 2 points, and same with Recchi. And a bunch of other players also had 1 point. Everybody on our team had points in that game except for Ovechkin, Brunstrom, Bales, and Weeks. Pretty good. Not the best game from Scavello, but it is what it is. He got the win. Likely we will start Howden next round, though, just because he is the technically elite goaltender. Vance first star, McDavid second star, and Recchi the third. Well, that was a good game. After that 7-3 game we had like a week ago almost at this point. It's where we lost. It's good to have an 8-3 game of our own. So there is round 1. Let's take a look at player stats after the first round and then see who we are facing in round number 2. Hopefully it's a team we can beat and that we don't get cheesed over. So McDavid had 11 points in 6 games. Vance had 9 points in 6 games. 5 of those came in the last game, which is funny. So he would have been under point per game otherwise. Reefers 5 points. Same with Kabanov. Ziska 4 points. Brigley 4 points. School 3 points. No goals. That's concerning considering he's getting paid $11 million. He's usually a really good playoff player too. I might have to trade him in the offseason if he doesn't really do that well for his team just because of that cap hit. We'll see. Maybe he'll just randomly turn it on all of a sudden. Bales 4 points, Patterson 2 points, Recchi 3 points, Corrado 2 points, and Weeks 1 point. So everybody on our forward core had a point in that first round. So that's a great way to start it off. Defensively, Spiller and Lowry both had 4 points. Carton had 2 points in 3 games. Brunstrom had 2 points. Morris had 1 point. No points from Ovechkin or Pache, but everybody on our roster pretty much had points except for these two guys, which is good. Goalie-wise, Howden was good in the beginning and then fell apart. Scavella was definitely the better of the two goaltenders. There is definitely an argument to start Scavella in the next round, but I don't know if I will. We'll see. Because maybe we just need to rest Howden for a couple days before next round, and then he'll be good to go. But there is our first round stats. The question is, who are we playing in round 2? Let's advance a day. It is going to be the Colorado Avalanche. So now we got to go through the top team in our division. We knocked out the second team in our division. Now we have to knock out the first best team. And then there's Dallas and Seattle in the second round as well. You also have Boston, Montreal. That's another good playoff matchup. And then the Islanders and Devils. Okay. So Colorado. Let's take a look at their stats in the regular season first and then the playoffs. They finished 4 points above us. They scored more goals per game than us. They allowed less goals. Oh yeah, that's right. They were the best defensive team in the league just by 1 goal. So that's interesting. Might be a defensive matchup. They had a really good power play by comparison to us, but we had the better penalty kill. They had more short-handed goals though, 12-8. Similar home records, and their away record was much better. They were much better also in their last 10 games going into the playoffs. I wonder what the roster looks like at this stage, but let's take a look first at their team stats for the playoffs, because I am curious if they've been better at anything in the playoff-wise. They swept the first round, scoring 16 goals, so we're both scoring the exact same amount of goals per game. They are way much better defensively. 1.75 goals per game, we are at 3.33. Damn, yeah, they're a defensive catalyst, apparently. Their power play was insanely good. Ours was also really good, which is a surprise. Their penalty kill is 100% in the first round, so their special teams are clicking too. Yeah, that's kind of scary. I don't know what their roster looks like at this stage, because I'm pretty certain Nathan McKinnon and all that are all retired by this stage, but maybe not actually. I don't know. Let's take a look at what this roster looks like for Colorado. First line, Jamal House. Former Arizona Coyote, don't recognize him though. Philip Tomasino and Jakub Gogolev. Second line, Jimmy Cunning, Logan Stankoven, our former player, and Jalen McMuffin. Third line, Garrett Goddard, Davis Robinson, and Jeremy Bass. And a fourth line, Guy Dezay, Oliver Kapanen, and Mauricio Crawford. So, this team does not look like it would be that good during the regular season. But apparently they were really good defensively, so we'll find out a little bit about that soon. But weren't they the team that knocked us out last year in the playoffs, I think? I feel like they were. Yeah, they were. They were the team that knocked us out in round 2 last year, so we got to go through them again here in round 2. And then defensively, Byram and Jokela, Heiskanen, and Stastny. Of course, another Colorado team has another Stastny-based player. That's kind of funny, since Peter Stastny played for the Nordiques. Paul Stastny obviously played for the Avs. And now you have Aldrich, who was drafted by the Blues in this, but played for Colorado as well. And I think all 3 of those Stastnys actually all played in St. Louis too, which is really weird. Because Paul Stastny definitely did. Peter Stastny, I'm pretty sure, did as well. So that's a really weird coincidence. And a top 6 pairing of Louis Tuzolino and Christopher Nolan, the former Arizona Coyote guy that was really good in the AHL. Yeah, I remember this dude. Yeah, I definitely remember him. So that's a little bit of a weak top 6, but the defensive core definitely looks pretty good. And goaltending-wise, they have the good goaltender in Cristiano Agon, of course. Forgot about Agon for some reason, even though we just saw his stats like last episode or whatnot. He's been elite so far, playoff-wise, in this year. And Will Cranley is the backup. Depth-wise, they have Hayden Sagan, Sergei Zadorov, and Valery Loktionov. It's going to be an interesting first round. I don't really know who's going to be the better of the two teams, but hopefully we win this, and hopefully we can get to that conference finals again. I don't know how good Seattle and Dallas is, so that's going to be interesting to see who gets there. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the second round against the Colorado Avalanche as we look to get redemption on them for knocking us out last year in round 2. Send anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.